to be able to, if the game is difficult and they need to go for recovery mode, they have the heroes to keep those waves pushed out and play across.
That strong team fight on paper, we could see Viking GG mess that up each time.
Yep. And okay, so yep, core Mirana for Toby. So their cores are Mirana, Tiny, and Jug. So like we were saying, fast pace. This is really just all about brute force aggression. And with Aramis playing a Spirit Breaker, he's one of, I think he's actually like one of the best Spirit Breakers I've seen in the last 12 months or so. Most people kind of just feed on this hero. He's had some pretty good showings on it. So I'm interested to see what they happen.
For the first blood here, as Insania has been caught out.
Oh, they didn't give it to their Tiny. They should have. He threw the tree for it.
Oh no. Toby there with a kill steal.
Good start. I mean, exactly what they need to be doing. Playing very, very aggressive, hyper-aggressive. First good move by them. 2 sentries bought right at the start here by Liquid. Not something you see too often, but you can see that they want to ensure that the lanes can at least go decent for them. So blocking the pull camp bottom, they're going to be running a relatively aggro lane, and then checking out for that mid ward.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of lane matchups they're going to get. At the moment, Mickey is going to be starting top in that safe lane. And up there, we're going to have Toby farming against him as the Mirana. Down bottom, Bo3 alongside Tiger, that Mars Phoenix, going to do their best to try and pressure the farm with the Jug early on. I mean, down here, the Jug, he shouldn't die against these heroes, right? He's always going to have the Blade Fury to live. And if anything, you know, dive in the wrong place or Boxy getting a little too close after, especially like the level 3s hit 2 points in Blade Fury, they've got a little bit of kill potential, Viking GG.
Absolutely, that's what we were saying. Like, they drafted for their lanes, right? This top lane can put pressure on too. Bane, he's the king of lanes, as we always say, king of those dual lanes. But they have a Morphling in the lane too, who's it can be a bit weak at the first few levels, especially versus these 2 aggressive heroes. So yeah, I'm liking the way they set up their lanes, and they got them set up for the time being. I don't think Liquid's really going to change or adapt anything, because I think they're okay with these lanes too. It's not amazing for them, but it's not bad. They're still going to get farm. Taiga's going to start pulling the wave bottom so that it's not Mars playing in the face of a Jug IO.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what sort of item build Toby goes for on the offlane Mirana. Like, as a core, you going for the right click? I mean, or do you start to build up those auras? Because the thing is, you do have an IO, right? So eventually Soleri can be the one that gets the mid.
Oh my god, is he just at it? Oh.
That remnant nearly brought him down, but not quite getting the connection quite for still, though. Heavy pressure on Boom, and he's only down to his last pull tango, still on cooldown for 25 seconds. So not dying, but still very low now, and having to keep a good distance away from point for bottom lane. Shad and Soleri bringing Boxy rather low, but Boxy's fine. He's kitted out for this. Still has 4 tangos to roll in the lane.
Oh no, Boom in mid though. He got double creep wave. Then look at the denies. Koifa is just destroying the lane off of the first two levels already. That is a big problem already. And bottom too, I think they got the spear. They're going for the kill into Shad.
Oh, and he hasn't got Blade Fury. He's already used it in that earlier bit of a fight that went on.
Look at the positioning of the lane that Liquid's kind of forced here because of this. And now they're denying experience away from the tower too. Big moves here from Liquid in that mid and bottom lane. I can't believe what happened in mid. I'd have to see the level 1 again and what happened with the block, because it looked like Koifa must have just gotten a better block and just able to nuke and double up the creep wave on the Tiny, and Boom just had to have gotten there late. Just makes it difficult. Aramis gets the bash. Trying for another. Give it to him.
Oh, Toby trying for the courier.
Ooh, nice save.
Yeah, we'll be able to make sure that Mickey's courier is able to walk away. How we doing on the regen? Boom, digging the bottle out, so back up to full HP with the 3 charges, and has also got himself a salve ready for any further harassment. But yeah, quite fair. He
hasn't missed the last hit.
Yeah, and he's also seeing full HP, and he's yet to use any of his bottle charges, so in a very good place in that mid matchup. Top lane, so he managed to get the chase down onto Insania. He'll turn with a Nightmare onto Toby, as that will be enough for him to get back underneath the tower. Also has the salve and playing with the double fairy fires too, so
yeah,
ready to try and bait Viking GG in for diving him.
Oh man, they set themselves up to have some decent lanes, but it does not look like that is happening at all at the moment.
Yeah, Shad's struggling.
That is a concern. As we said, they have to be playing pretty much ahead in this game versus this Liquid draft. Not gonna find Insania either up here.
Yeah, committing with the triple leaps. Not enough to stay on top of the Bane. Insania just outplaying there, keeping himself alive easily with the Fairy Fires. And Mickey's farm continues to look very nice here. 17-9 against Toby's 11-1 in this top lane.
They have not been able to apply pressure, and now this is where Morphling kind of just starts to take over the lane. He's going to hit level 4, and that's where it becomes very difficult. They have to start making some adaptation, so it's going to be around this 4-minute rune timing.
Let's see where the spawn's going to be. It is going to be bottom, so Aramis won't be able to stop Quakefer from getting the refill, and it's that beautiful double damage rune for Quakefer, especially when he's a few waves away from hitting the 6. If he's able to get that Astral Step online with the DD still in the bottle, that is insane kill potential on the Void Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, he can go to any lane.
Yeah.
As soon as he has level 6, I think he can TP top or TP bottom, and anybody's a kill. Even the Jog, if he plays too far up, can get chased down pretty quickly from those double Astrals. Yeah, big starts here for Liquid in this laning phase. I thought that Viking would have a different type of preparation, some type of movements to at least secure their lanes a bit better, but that one death bottom really hurts, and then that mid-wave, that double mid-wave changes everything. Already off to a tough start here. Checking these bounty runes. Looks like this will be the rotation, maybe Boom. Tries to join up with his team here. Tiny Spirit Breaker can set up a lot of kills early on, these two together. If they're able to find the opportunities, though, which is seeming to be difficult.
Celery down bottom. Celery taking quite the harassment here. Whoa, whoa, Bo3 there. Beautiful. Catches him mid-tether as he comes flying across with the arrow.
Uh-oh, mid now too. Boom. He's just dead. Double Astrals with DD.
Yeah, that's going to do it. That sort of DD early on, incredibly potent. Top lane, they're charging onto Mickey. He's under the tower, but
he's fine.
Yeah, these two heroes are just never going to be able to kill the Morphling unless Mickey makes a massive error.
Oh boy, oh, and this might be a rough game for Viking. Off of this laning start falling, it says less than 1k gold behind, but you can just feel how dominant Liquid is being in this lane. Look at their levels, like level 5 on Mars, that carries level 4. Everybody is just having a spectacular start. Level 7 on Void Spirit, level 5 on Tiny.
Down in the river, 6-minute runes up. Again, the spawn's going to be bottom. Okay. Does mean that Liquid will be able to control that for themselves as Quakefer will be able to go and grab it. They're going to try and set up on Aramis first. He's pretty tanky as the Spirit Breaker, so not a kill they'll be able to finish off.
Now has a raindrop as well, so it'll be just fine. Toby top is going to continue laning versus Mickey, but if you said Mickey's chilling. He's on full free farm mode. Hasn't really had any pressure onto him at all. He's he's healing up there, but there is a charge coming through. Maybe they catch him off guard, but pretty unlikely.
And we see so the build from Toby on the offlane. Mirana will be rushing the Spirit Vessel for the team.
Okay. I mean, they do want one. For certain. That'll be pretty good timing pickup too, because he's the core hero.
Yeah. No sort of supports on or heroes on Liquid's lineup that offer any sort of dispel, so the Vessel charges are going to be strong offensively. I'm just eyeing up Mickey, but again, just such a hard lane for Aramis to try and play into.
Dire's courier has been
Chances
killed.
of catching Mickey low on the HP are already very slim, and anytime that Insania is around, a quick nightmare just stops the aggression.
I mean, Toby might just die here. Charge is going to come through to try to help. He's got raindrops as well. He'll be okay. Now Aramis, though, taking a beating.
And they get the arrow, and onto Insania. Again, another Fairy Fire will keep Insania alive.
The raindrops, it saves Toby again. Okay.
I mean, they're not dying, at least up here, but still they're not slowing down Mickey's farm.
No.
Continue to see the 7 minutes in all 3 of Liquid's cores. It's as if they haven't even had any contest in the lane. They've just got complete free farm.
And full rune control, too. Look at Quakefa, a haste in his bottle. We have another rune spawning in 8 seconds. they have all the freedom in the world. They even get the first D ward there on that high ground in mid.
Dire's middle tower.
And Koifa gets another one. They're blessed right now.
Every single rune.
Even the Dota gods are on Liquid's side right now in these first 8 minutes.
Let's see what Koifa can do with the remaining duration of this phase. He's already a little low. He's caught out there as he's underneath the vision of that creep coming over to the camp.
And Shad, every time he tries to get a setup onto Taiga, just quickly dives away. Maybe Boom. This might be a rotation. You can catch Taiga. Oh yeah, this should be a good one for them here.
Let's see what they can do. They come in with the combo. Viking GG. Get the kill onto Tiger. So some action now being found by Boom with these movements.
I think this is what he has to do. I think just start going full aggressive on the Tiny. Just looking to rotate for these kills when people are playing too far up. You have to be careful though, because Void Spirit can match that aggression easily with those Astral Steps, but I do think he has to try to salvage these side lanes a little bit here. Great warding coming out from Team Liquid. Very aggressively positioned. You see the bottom wards so that they can watch the movements coming out. And also the wards watching up here. These type of wards are just, anytime you can get wards closer to the enemy base versus Spirit Breaker, you always can just, Aramis charges. You see him charging through these wards. You can see the setup easy. Celery will burn away.
Koifa is going to come past the tower. Not really too much you can do to threaten Shad, but Shad just having to play so careful here, hiding behind the tower. Mid lane, Boom and Aramis in onto Insania.
He's got a raindrop.
It's not enough between the two of them. The setup from the Nightmare will be there to skewer the Spirit Breaker right underneath the tower, but still very beefy as the Spirit Breaker, and no damage here to kill him off. Aramis will be able to walk away. Boom tries to come in and find Insania with that last avalanche, but Insania will live.
Oof. Not even able to get the kill on the Bane. 10 minutes. Let's see if they can set up a Rooney or Shad. We'll get involved here, Mika. We'll get the Strength Morph off.
Is under attack.
Yeah, we'll try and run him down a bit, but not really too much hope in trying to commit for this Morphling with these heroes. They just don't have any answer for Mickey right now, not until at least they have the Spirit Vessel. Then maybe more of an opportunity for them to make those plays.
Maybe some slight, yeah. It's still, like we said, tough. No silences, very limited disables versus a Morphling. It's a really good last pick Morphling game. He had so many plays there. He could have turned into Mirana, could have turned into Jug and spun away, leaps, etc. He was just fine. Boom. Again, looking for Insania.
Insania's got backup though. The bait's there. Boxy's able to walk in, drop the arena down onto the two of them. He spears the Tiny up to the tower. Koifa's in as well with the Resonant Pulse damage, splitting them apart. Dive forward from the Phoenix as they stay on top of Boom. Boom will get the toss back onto Koifa. So Celery will go down, but Boom himself, will he live the Sunray? Is it enough? It's not. Boom will get away. They get the kill on Tiger because of that dive attempt with the Sunray. Charge over onto Koifa. He's low on mana. Viking, they're going to be able to pick up the Void Spray on top of it. They jump forward. Toby, he's looking for Insania. Mickey's going to turn into the Mirana, try and play back into the face of Toby as Toby on the retreat. Mickey back into the Morphling form, beating onto Aramis, but not enough damage from him to get either of these kills. So Viking actually able to punch back relatively hard there. Top lane as well. Omni Slash onto Boxy. Can they finish this kill off? They can't. Boxy's able to turn in time with the spear. The Sunray damage not enough to outdo the heals of Celery. The dive forward is going to be attempted. He goes for the super, but Shad, he just puts the Blade Fury, easily takes down the egg. As Viking GG, they're getting some big kills here as they really start to pull themselves back into this game.
I feel like they're getting handed some kills here from Team Liquid. Taiga twice overplaying his hand, once in the mid lane, then up top. Both of them end up dying. I think they also lost Insania throughout it, and Koifa.
Top tower all right. Is under attack.
That's
a tower for Shad.
That brings back everything that kind of happened poorly inside of the laning phase. Yeah. They're back in it here with the net worth.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, pretty much all of their cores now, even with that and Liquid. Some very nice moves here from Viking, and this is a team you've got to be careful. We've seen this in the past with this squad. Any sort of chance for them to run at you, they're going to do it. They've got the heroes to do so. We're seeing with this Breaker, Tiny, Mirana, they're going to be straight in your face, as Liquid have to be careful at how they sort of stay split up, as dives will be coming in past these tier 1s each and every time Viking sees an opportunity.
Yeah.
There's mid lane. Another attempt here towards Insania, but Insania's got quite for a round. Nightmare setup, but instantly taken off. And again, one of the powers of these heroes, Aramis on the Breaker, Boom on the Tiny. These are very high HP heroes early on. The Void Spirits combo, Quakefer, he cannot sort of solo these heroes down. There's too much HP for him to burst through.
Absolutely. And Quakefer, he's actually gone for the Yules build this game. I thought he might go for more of a snowball build, but I guess because they died, maybe it changed some things. I thought maybe he'd go for something like the Orchid for the kills, but looking at bottom, Mickey, very alone here.
Shad, it's going to get brought in by Celery. They've got the control here with the ult into the arrow. 5 heroes upon him. Mickey in a whole lot of trouble. They're trying to head over to help him out, Liquid, but they cannot get here in time.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, they are hitting Liquid hard now, Viking. They say it doesn't matter about the laning stage. We're going to come through in this early mid game and just outplay them as Liquid getting truly shaken up.
And now because of those few kills, first, bottom.
Let's see if they got enough control though. I mean, Toby has got a lot of HP himself to work with this full Spirit Vessel. 1400 HP Mirana isn't getting solo through.
There's a Blink Tiny coming too.
Shadows.
They're trying to poke onto Aramis, but they're not getting the skill. Liquid have to bring in more if they want to try and take down these heroes. The TPs are coming in. They've got 4 members down in Liquid, and Viking know that. They've forced a reaction. They'll back away from this and make sure that Liquid don't get the chance to find this fight that they were looking for.
Oh my god. These last few moments, in the last 5 minutes, they picked up a Vessel, they picked up a Blink, and then they also just picked up a mech on the IO. So this has kind of completely changed things for the next upcoming fights, how Liquid is probably going to look at it. I don't think they're going to expect these guys to have this much gold, this much efficient use of their gold as well, right? Look at the net worth of this IO. I think it's what, 2,200 or something, 2,300? It's all exactly mech. 2,240. It's literally just his mech all contributed there perfectly.
Is under attack.
So yeah, a lot more factors that Liquid needs to worry about. And now this Jug, he's taking control of that top net worth. Huge moves from Viking.
Oh, Bo3, he's going to get caught out. Boom's in with a blink. Bo3 is going to try and run, but the charge is in. Bo3 will turn, be able to spear them back, and does have Insania by his side. He's having to use the arena to get away, but Aramis, he jumps in with the ultimate. Bo3, can he survive it? Boom, he's get one more hit, and the Avalanche is back up. They get the kill. They'll cut down Insania as well. As Liquid, they're really starting to struggle. They are just getting outplayed in every single event over the last 5 minutes. They had a great laning stage. They're 3 cores far ahead, but now they're falling apart. The combo's in onto Quakefer. Mickey trying to zip in, turns into Tiny to let the combo move. They've already finished off Quakefer. The Omnislash comes out onto Mickey. Aramis and Toby pushing it back. The arrow's in onto this Morphling. The 4 of them surround him. Mickey is dead. And Liquid, what is happening? They are getting smashed here by Viking in every single move.
Holy moly. Viking is just outmaneuvering, outclassing, outnumbering them in every single occasion. They kill bottom. They have, I think, relocate. They're moving so quick around the map. Yeah. With this charge, with this Mirana, they're using their mobility at its finest and not letting Liquid kind of group up and fight, right? Liquid wants to be able to utilize Mars and Phoenix ulti. They want to be able to have Quakefer jumping in and starting the fights, but they're the ones actually getting gone on.
And you can see in the graph that the whole sort of laning phase was just, very comfortably for Liquid, building up in their favor. And then bam, Vikings start making these moves up and down the map, and it's too fast for Liquid to deal with. Liquid are just all over the place and not quite ready for this aggression. They do now look up top to try and turn things onto the Spirit Breaker. Arrow comes in, holds back Quakefer for now. Can Aramis get out of there? The Moonlight helping him out, but the Sunray continues to burn. They have detection for him. It doesn't even matter. Aramis is going to be able to charge back over to the creep wave, get himself away from the 3 of them. At the same time, on the mid lane, an additional fight continues as the arena's down. The setup will be there for Mickey to blow up Celery. They'll turn over towards Boom, but Shad's here. Make sure the Bo3 and Mickey can't commit any further for Boom. So Liquid able to find a kill, but of course not necessarily a huge one.
But look at this
happening. Viking keeping the score even there when it comes to action in the last minute. As they get another kill onto the Phoenix, they're now starting to grow to a 2K lead.
I love how this team is playing. No hesitation. They understand how their lineup is supposed to play. Jug's getting all this farm, but look at the way that Boom is playing. He showed mid, he got Mars ulted. No hesitation, TP's top finds a kill on Phoenix. They're not slowing down for these kills at all.
There should be a an easy pick, or is it? They cancel the Fiend's Grip, doesn't matter. The burst is there to bring down Toby. They'll lose Insania for it. Viking, can they get more from this? They turn over towards Bo3. Bo3 trying his best to juke away through the trees. Is it going to work? He's hiding, but they've got the vision on him. They've found him. The IO back out, but the vision there long enough for Aramis to go for the charge. Doesn't want to commit, though. Quakefor would be around to put that charge to an end with the Remnant, and TPs were coming in on the outpost.
Quick fighting moves, though. Immediately, as soon as Toby's getting gone out, no hesitation. The IO Tiny, they're paired up. They relocate top. Spirit Breaker joins the fray. Every single time, it seems like Viking, they're just bringing the numbers. Liquid is not prepared for this run-at-you lineup that's somehow swung this game so much from those last few moments. Look at this. Jug now is 1,600 over. I believe it's a full Manta plus more. Or he went for SNY. He's going to go for the disassemble build. But look at this Jug. 1,700 HP. He has his Pupil's Gift, drums SNY. And he's set up for success now.
And the balance from Shad as well between hitting the creeps and hitting the heroes, it couldn't be any better.
Perfect.
3, 1, and 5. You know, this Jug he's been getting involved. This is not an AFK Juggernaut. Shad's been keeping up with the tempo of his very aggressive teammates. I'm really getting involved, and it shows. The levels and farm for him very good for 18 minutes in.
Celery. Walk up versus Insania. Sentry versus Sentry. Neither of them confident to step forward for it just yet. Looks like we have a little bit of a lull of downtime here for a moment before all the action's going to start kicking off again. So he bought the halberd piece now. I believe he has that finished up already on the Jug. So that is it's a really tough to kill Juggernaut already at this point. You were talking about the burst damage that comes out in particular from Quakefor. They have more than enough HP on their core heroes now in order to tank versus most of it.
That's the thing. I feel the games where you really see Void Spirit suffer are those games where, 20 minutes in, you're sort of asking yourself as the Void Spirit, who can he kill? Who does Quakefor go on and blow up? And at this point, with the heroes on Viking GG and these early items, it's none of them, right? Quakefor, he's always going to need that additional one or possibly two heroes to actually go on someone and take them out.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's too tanky at this point for him to do anything. Io has Mech, Spirit Breaker is Spirit Breaker with 1,700 HP with drums and Tranquil Boots. So, yeah, definitely tough for Quakefor to play around with this, just like pairing up with one hero and looking for kills. They actually just need to look for fights. Liquid is not about to pick off draft.
Nice, quick and easy grab there for Viking.
Well, Viking is about to pick off draft, right? We see that immediately. They can set up kills with 1 or 2 heroes quite easily. Yeah, Liquid has to start looking for some team fights pretty soon here with their lineup. Otherwise, I do see them start to fall behind. Every time they're splitting up, Viking is just on them. Look at this. Top immediately. Aramis, no hesitation.
We'll see a little bit of time bought for himself there with the self-fuels, but there's the backup. Viking, they're just all here. They're just all here on top of Quakefor. I mean, they are just destroying the flow that Quakefor wants to get going as a Void Spirit. Bo3 will go with the arena onto Boom. Has Tiger by him, but Boom, he's got a lot of teammates around. Aramis charges over to try and get in, but the Tiny will fall. Mickey turns to the Spirit Breaker, able to give Aramis a bit of a taste of his own medicine as he charges in upon him. As Liquid will manage to kick back, and Viking sticking around a little too long there, the two of them up top. Meanwhile, Shad and Celery getting to work on the bottom lane. This tower and creep wave will push Shad very close to having the completed Manta and Halberd.
Big boy here. Big Jug. That situation there, they get the Void Spirit kill, they stay a little bit too far forward. That's when Liquid can start to react. They finally have their Mars Phoenix. Phoenix now has Max Sunray, so there's the damage that we're looking for,
Let's
right?
see if they can get this Jug. This will be the big one. They need to stop Shad's
with
game.
Fiend's Grip. They have no way to cancel it.
I do not. He's getting healed by the tether, and even with the 4 heroes going for him, Shad's just able to get out.
The arrow connects.
They're going to be able to bring down Tiger by the looks of it. Can they take him out? If they can, and with the charge through from Aris straight through the 3 of them, Viking, they're fighting on despite the fact that they've lost their eye. It doesn't matter. They're too strong at this point. Liquid cannot deal with them. Insania is out as well. And that was what those 4 heroes trying to go on Shad's Jug. They just couldn't do it. They brought him down to about half HP. Celery with some great positioning, just sort of swinging around the edge of the fight. They couldn't get the IO off the Jug. And even with the full lockdown of the full duration Fiend's Grip, they couldn't kill him.
Those heals, that mech. I think next time now we'll probably see Liquid put more focus onto Celery because of all that, but that's a painful one. They might be able to find Aramis here. They will.
Yeah, Shad not quite able to find the Omni Slash target that he'd hoped for. They're still
in the area.
Yeah, they could still take this Viking if they want to. And they're gonna back off Shad very close to the Manta, so makes sense for them to focus on getting his next item complete.
Yeah, love this build up too. Manta into Scotty. He's playing versus Morphling. He's playing versus Phoenix Mars. I mean, it's just such a good I've Scotty game pickup if he's able to get that one next. Yeah, they're off to a real good start here after all this recovery. 18-12, 1k gold lead, boom, non-stop aggression. Look at this guy, 6-2 and 8. He's already on the prowl, kind of looking for another setup. Might just clear out the mid wave first, but
I mean, how would you sort of consider the status of the game in terms of being a game that Mickey's going to be able to take on his back and carries this more? At the moment, is there still a very good chance that Mickey will be able to do this?
Yes, I still think it's a last pick Morphling game versus like no silences, very limited disables, and very telltale spells, and he still has the heavy backup of his team. It still is a super solid game for Mickey as it does progress forward. Viking still needs to kick up that tempo, but if they can get a couple kills here, if they can keep these pickups, that's when they get a Roche, they get map control, and that can lead them to success versus this Morph. But yeah, Mickey is definitely the one to look out for still with the backup of his team.
Well, let's see what they can find here with the smoke straight over towards the river, charging onto Boxy. They found the two of the Boxy and Insania grouped up together. They go in straight away with the Omni Slash, cut them down. There's going to be a buyback from Insania who wants to try and get across and help the rest of his team, because the rest of the three of Liquid, they're still around it. They'll turn, they'll be able to blow up the IO. The egg is going to get focused immediately as Boom picks up a triple kill. The stun, the bash is onto Mickey. Mickey is falling low, he's down. The crit comes through. Mickey is out. Insania, he's going to be ending up dying back in this fight as he's in the river, dead for a second time. Koifer jumps away, the dissimulate, they've got vision. Have they got a stun? They have.
They do.
Boom throws up the avalanche. Koifer still with the movement speed to get away, has got another astral step to jump out. Boom, he's going to have blink up in a second again. Is he able to find Koifer? Avalanche up in a couple. Koifer turns with the Eels, but the vision's already there for the charge to come in from Aramis as in they go, flying across onto the Void Spirit. The high fives are offered up, but there's no response from Koifer as he's dead. And Viking, they're just so quick, they're everywhere. They've just killed off everybody. I think 6 heroes technically, Insania twice. On top of that team wipe, they're instantly into Roshan. I mean, you give Viking any sort of chance to make a move and they just take everything from you.
And so smart the way they did that. The smoke on a position where they secure the area, right? They put a ward, they put a sentry, they smoke, they go as a team, and they find the 2 perfect targets. I mean, ideally they would have found Phoenix Mars, but they found Mars and Bane, take them out before the fight starts. And then the egg is put in a position where Jug and Mirana are alive, so they just easily bring down that egg by themselves and hold their ground. Viking just making all the right moves. Liquid starting to fall out of control here now.
Yeah, and the timing.
That was the big fight. That was the big fight that Liquid needed to kind of come back in here for Mickey. Now 6k gold lead. Viking has so much freedom around the map now.
Yeah, and Shad's just massive.
Yeah,
and
he's huge.
And Viking GG, they're so focused on every little aspect. Which is 25 minutes in, the runes come up. They pick 3 for themselves. They couldn't get to the one on the dire side, but that was okay because Shad, he still had his illusions there. He denied the bounty runes, so Liquid get nothing at the 25-minute mark. They lose Insania yet again. A 7k difference now. I mean, this is really starting to look quite hard for Liquid to slow down. The weight on Mickey's shoulders just getting ever heavier and greater. He's got so much work that he has to do to try and swing this one around, and it just seems so hard for him because Viking, they're just in his face. They're in everybody's face in each and every fight.
He feels alone is the biggest thing, right? Koifa has fallen off pretty heavily in the game.
I mean, look at this Tiny's KDA.
11-2 and 10.
11-2 and 10. He's 21 of the 25 kills. He has been in there.
Look at the 3 cores.
That's insane.
11-2, 10, 5-1, 13, 4-1, 11. They're having the dream games.
And you got to remember, specifically Boom, that lane, he was off to such a rough start in the lane matchup against Koifa. But the difference between his game and Koifa's is night and day. 11-2 and 10 on this mid Tiny compared to this 4-4-4 on Void Spirit and that, 4.5 heads. That's not a great. That's not what you want as a Void Spirit. That's not you've had a rough game.
Now things really started to snowball. And they just continue to keep this map control here. They take the top tower, they take the outpost very quickly. They're very decisive with their moves that I've noticed from Viking GG.
Toby has been caught out by Boxy. They're going to look to try and blow the Mirana. Aramis trying to charge him from the side, but the arena holds him back. They've got the grip onto the Tiny here, but the BKB's already out. Boom. He's not taking any damage during this grip. Aramis comes charging across the 3 of them. The combo's in. The tether across. Insania tries to protect himself from the sleep, but Mickey, he's caught in the avalanche. Can he actually get get out of this. He waveforms to the side, but Viking, they're just going to continue to chase, run them down into the Blade Fusion. Blade Fury on Blade Fury. Beyblade action here between Mickey and Shad.
Again.
Mickey has to spin his way out of this, but it's a dead supernova. Each and every one of this game has just been unsuccessful from Tiger, and understandably so. Viking, they have such a great lineup for killing that egg. They also catch Bo3 off to the side of this tier 2, and it really feels like Liquid, they've got to start going back to the drawing board on this game. I mean, they started off well in the lanes. They have a draft that could have been able to take this late for the Morph, but Viking GG from sort of 10 minutes onwards, they have just run over Liquid. Liquid have looked so shaken up this game.
I don't know what else I love seeing more than when a team, they play their strategy so well that they break the other team's strategy.
They've just broken them.
Liquid wants to fight. They get these big team fights, but look at the way Vikings playing it. They're not giving them the opportunities. It's always like, oh, 2 or 3 heroes of Liquid are set up here, and then they just 5-man them. Then again, 2 or 3 heroes, Viking 5-mans them before all Liquid is set up. Or they kill people before the fight starts. In a situation like Bottom River where they got the Mars. Arrow?
Quite just stands in it.
Oh my god.
He doesn't even dodge it. He's got every ability up behind a Yule Scepter. He has all the buttons, but he doesn't press any of them.
I think that might be it. I think Viking just broke Liquid completely in this one.
I think that broke Quoifer's keyboard.
Quoifer for sure.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Not a single button press there as Quoifer's out.
Is under attack.
A Quoifer just getting hit point blank by an arrow. That's when you know that this game has been a little too much for Liquid.
Just, yeah, I mean, snowballing out of control in its definition. Aramis just, honestly, I loved watching this guy Spirit Breaker, especially when he has a hero like Tiny with him. They have so much global potential, it feels. Just this movement, the mobility. Charge into a Blink Tiny with a Relocate on top, and then Shad's just there. Just every time. They always have the numbers. Liquid, they need some final hurrah.
Yeah, if they don't come out on top of this fight, it may just all be over for Liquid here in this game one. Bo3 is going to lay down the arena, but Aramis and Shad, they're going to be happy to trip in with a Mickey with the turn into the Mirana form. Will use the arrow onto Shad. They'll be able to take him down the walls, but he's still got that Aegis. Aramis will fall. Boom in with the 3-man avalanche. The toss on a Bo3, bringing him along. Shad comes in with the Omni Slash, cuts down the 2 of them. Bo3 and Quoifer out of the game alongside Tiger. There's a buyback on Bo3, but Quoifer and Tiger with no means to return to the fray. The Yule set up onto Mickey. The arrow, the stun control, it's there. Vessel down on a Mickey. He's going to try and morph his way back to the base. Boom. Actually running into the fountain. The ball's nearly slapping Mickey out of the action, but he's into the fountain. He will live. Viking, though, more than enough space to take a second set of racks here. 30 minutes in.
Has fallen.
I mean, there's just no way. Now the Morphling is super countered with the Spirit Vessel, with the Scotty. He can't even shift very easy at all. Like, all these fights are just impossible. It really does start to feel like it. Mickey, he doesn't have backup of his team, and they're just... I mean, it really was snowballing out of control,
it was the perfect snowball. This lineup of Viking GG, I don't know who's necessarily the loudest out of the squad, who's making the majority of the shot calls, but whoever it is, these are some top tier movements.
Calls. Yeah, agreed.
Every single move across the map and reaction to what Liquid's tried to do during this game, it's just always been won by Viking. They're always a step ahead in this match, and Liquid just seemed totally lost.
A step ahead and relentless is what I want to say. It's like, I didn't feel like them go back and farm, right? It never was a situation where it was like, okay, guys, let's chill. No, it was, we have Blink Tiny, we have Spirit Vessel Mirana, we have everything we need to just take over the game and fight every single time. Don't let Liquid actually get a 5-man unit. They never have.
And boom, he's just in with a BKB onto Mickey. Forcing him away. Tiger will be able to dive out of range of the arrow in time, but the charge down to Quoifer. Set up into the ultimate. They bounce Quoifer back into the arms of Boom as he tosses him up.
Your phase
Quoifer being well and truly shaken up here in this game one. Here's Void Spirit being thrown literally all over the place by Boom and his Tiny. Jump forward again, a combo onto Insania. Tiger is going to drop the egg. Toby's just going to come in with the BKB in the lead. He wants to take the Supernova down, and he won't be able to. The egg successful. They didn't quite get the last hit in time. The Sunray burning, Sailor down low. His Spirit Vessel is also slowly killing him off. They will find the IO. Boxy able to turn, get the Spirit in onto Shab, pushing him away as well.
On Mickey.
With the shield crash, but deeper. Mickey is dead. He's gone for 75. They're going to tap out. They know that they cannot turn this one around at all. GG is called as Viking GG with this game one performance. I mean, they just look like on a totally different level to Liquid. It almost looked like this was a game where Viking said, you know what?